Alrighty, mic testing, mic testing. Okay, perfect. Let me go to my gameplay screen. Actually, my main camera. Alright, we're live, and we're live again. I'm just done with like my Genshin stream live. That's it. As you guys can tell by the title and thumbnail, today I'm going to be working on some game logic in Unreal Engine 5 using C++. That's last stream I did go over like managing cameras and trying adding that stuff, but I thought that I gotta like actually read some docs as well to understand how the Unreal actually works, like the coding part type stuff, because many of you guys do like use blueprints, but I do like writing it with code type stuff. That's let's go to my gameplay screen. There we go. Guys, I think I went to the wrong screen. There we go. Okay, and do I gotta like decrease the size a bit more? Is it like perfect? There we go. Yeah, I think that's just about right. Maybe from the left side as well. There we go. I think that's good. Okay, now I gotta go ahead and open the docs as well. So I might go somewhere here. And then let's type something like Unreal Engine 5. Let's go with something like coding and programming docs. Because I checked that some of you guys did say me to try this. So let's go ahead and open my docs up here. Now, in my docs, let's go ahead and see. I did like work on this some off stream, like read the docs and all that. But let's go ahead and find like a specific topic here. Before that, let me actually check this. There we go. Okay, now firstly, I gotta go ahead and open my docs here. Before I open my docs, this is for my programming section. So on this page, Unreal provides a robust framework of C++ programming to help bring their vision to life. I see. Okay, this selection covers several powerful features that you can use to accelerate your development. Before that, guys, I forgot like a small thing. Let me go to Sensei/ChatGPT. I forgot to say something like Sensei, I'm live, exclamation. That said, today I am planning to read some UE5 docs on stream to understand the basic functions that I need to know. Okay, let's end, guys. I did not want to write that in caps. Let's go ahead and close my caps lock. There we go. Okay, let's scroll all the way down here real quick. Okay, listen up everyone. Today is not about flashy blueprints or miracle buttons. Today is about foundation, about rendering these scrolls before swinging the sword. People is doing the right things, okay? Unreal Engine 5 is a beast, a beautiful, chaotic, opinionated beast. Is that how you pronounce it, guys? I think I've spelled that wrong. And if you don't understand this core idea, it will let you building the wrong things very confidently. So while we read this docs today, keep this mindset. Unreal is built around who owns that. Why didn't you claim the free offer on ChatGPT? It'll really help. Honestly, I might actually try that in that case. That said, is there like a free ChatGPT's offer? I actually don't see. I feel like it's like I got upgraded. That said, Unreal is built to tell. So basically, I'm going to be reading the docs today and also working on like my Unreal Engine. Let me go ahead and get that out of here. And guys, I thought that instead of having like a complete basic project where I gotta set my camera and everything, I might have my camera like being set for me, if that makes any sense. So here, I already have a project where there is a lot of things here. Like I have a player and all that stuff. So if I were to run the code here real quick, I already have my player who can like walk around using my mouse. Okay guys, I think it's the wrong project, but I'm gonna fix this part later. Firstly, I want to go ahead and try the docs here. So there is Visual Studio, there is standard C++ syntaxes. This might be what I need. Okay, class organization. There we go. So classes should be organized with the reader in mind rather than the writer. Since most readers will use public interface of the class, the public implementation should be declared first, followed by the class's private implementation. I see. It's right next to ChatGPT's title, top lol claim free thingy. I might actually check that off stream though, actually. Okay, so firstly, I go ahead and create a U class, and then my class is gonna be my project name underscore API. Okay, and then a example actor. So this is my actor's name. I include all the public content from my A actors class. And then I generate my body. After that, I publicize everything, set default values for the actors' properties. This is my constructor. And I mean, this is not like my constructor. This is my header file type stuff. Copyright notice, any source files, header files, C++ files, or XML files provided by Epic Games for public distribution. Okay, so this is the basic copyright notice. That's it. Classes inherit from... Okay, there we go. And now, types of prefix Type names are prefixed with an additional uppercase letter to distinguish them from variable names. For example, fskin is a type of name and skin is an instance of type fskin. Template classes are prefixed by T. Class T attribute. Classes inherit from U object are prefixed by U. I'm assuming U object is like Unreal object. Okay, what if I click this? Okay, the U class macro. The U class macro gives the U object a reference to a U class. Okay, that describes the Unreal base type. Each U class maintains one object called the class default object CDO. Okay, the end is nights, and only Jesus saves the world is passing away from eternity. That actually does make sense. That said, the CDO is essentially a default template object generated the class constructor and unmodified thereafter. Both the U class and the CDO can be retrieved for a game object instance, although they should generally be considered read-only. The U class for an object instance can be accessed at any time using get class functions. A U class contains a set of properties and functions that defines the class. Okay, these are normal C++ functions and variable available to standard C++ code. Let's see. What if I go to programming reference? So project. Okay, there's functions. There's gameplay classes. There's functions. Let's see U functions. Okay, so there's what's new. Okay, this is one thing that actually gets me in the docs here. When I click programming with C, does it take me there? So it takes me here to the exact same place. Hiding long story, I appreciate you joining the stream. Have you graduated? Are you still in school? Honestly, I am like a freshman in college. My college is like gonna start really soon, so my streaming time might actually move an hour or 2 hours ahead of when I usually start streaming type stuff. That said, selection directory, why are you not playing the games? Honestly, I did like stream Genshin for like, let me check how long. I actually forgot. I think it was like 2 hours and 30 minutes or something like that. That's let's go up here. But then later I moved on to this. Hold up, guys. Let's go to something like your channel. Okay, so in my lives, I was just done streaming my Genshin for like 2 hours and 14 minutes and 2 hours and 30 minutes. I want to delete this. I might delete this later. Let's get this there. Hello, Hiding Leon. I appreciate you joining the stream. Okay, and guys, today I am like trying to work on my reading doc skills because I think I gotta read the docs for actually understanding this concept. That said, I'm gonna go ahead and just delete that live stream real quick because I think there was like a useless one. There we go, delete forever. Okay, perfect, done. Now let's get back to reading the docs. I'm gonna exit that. There we go. Okay, which college did you end up joining and what course? Actually, I can't say my college name, but I am like working on the basics of programming. I did not take any programming course yet though. Okay, so delegates, gameplay agriculture, containers, coding standards. Let's try this. Okay. There's a U class. Wait, let me actually say something like, let's say, can I get a link to the doc that's going to help me learn how to use C++ in UE5 question mark? Because I think this might be really helpful to understand how do I use C++ in Unreal Engine. That said, while since saying that, maybe I go ahead and eat some oats real quick. Okay, it's the official doc C++ tutorials. Unreal Engine C API reference. What does API reference mean? Okay, there are like modules and plugins. That's it for my programming. Let's see. This selection covers all this stuff. So creating new gameplay class in C++ and all changes will be reflected in the Unreal Editor after compiling with either Visual Studio or Xcode. Creating classes, creating class variables. These are defined using standard C++ syntaxes using the Unreal Reflection System to encapsulate your class with metadata, property specifier, macros that provide editor functionalities. Each class defines a template for a new object or actor. Containers in Unreal Engine provides information on class and data structure collections using gameplay architecture. You build your projects in Unreal Engine. The gameplay framework provides a hierarchy of objects and actors. These classes contains boilerplate variables and functions you can use when creating a designing interactive experience. I see. creating delegates to call member functions on C++ object. In a generic type-safe way, you can dynamically bind a delegate to a member function of an arbitrary object, calling the function on the object at a future time even if the caller does not know the other's type. Okay, where's the learning part again? That is the learning part. That is the doc. Guys, this is what actually confuses me in docs. Like, what do I even read? How was your birthday, by the way? I mean, it was like pretty. I mean, it was kind of bland, but then I'll say it's like really, really fun actually. Impressive, man. Where are you from? Honestly, I am like from abroad, but I can't say the exact country name. That's let's see. Let's go all the way up here now. On this page, I see these things. Do I gotta click a link from here? Like, what is property specifiers? What is Unreal Reflection System? What is metadata? Standard C++ syntaxes. Okay, class organizers. I know this thing. Copyright notice. Did that as well. And then up here, did that. Okay. Epic's concept like structures. Okay, so structures. So this is how we create structures. Templates. Okay. So, I mean, I do understand some from here because I did like work kind of. That said, all functions that return a boolean should ask a true/false question such as is visible or should clear a buffer. A procedure, a function with no return value should use a strong verb followed by an object, and execution is if the object of the method is the object it is in. Okay, in this case the object is understood from context. Name to avoid include those beginning with handle and process because the verbs are ambiguous. We encourage you to prefix function parameters with one, okay, parameter name out without. If the function parameters are passed by reference, okay, the function is expected to write out that value. That makes it obvious that the value passed in this argument is replaced by the function. If an in or out parameter is also a boolean, put b before, oh I see, before the in/out prefix such as b out result. Oh, now now I understand what the b's mean when I type something. I used to think b stands for blueprint, never mind, it's boolean. May I ask what courses are you pursuing? Honestly, I'm not using any courses to like learn programming for the time being, but eventually I do want to be like a cybersecurity. That's it. Hiding share. I appreciate you joining the stream. Now, speaking of that, functions that return a value should be described. The return value, the name should be clear. What value the function returns, this is particularly important for Boolean functions. Consider the following two examples. Boolean check t, f t, okay, I'm assuming that's floating point. The name makes it clear, true, okay. True means t is fresh, boolean is fresh t. Excuse me guys, ft is fresh t, floating point check, wait, integer t count. Boolean does t sync, f name, t name, f string, t friend name, I think I see. Inclusive word choice. When you work in the Unreal Engine code base, we encourage you to strive to use respectful, inclusive, and professional language. Word choice applies when you name classes, functions, data structures, type, variables, files, and folders, plugins. It applies when you write a snippet of user-face text for the UI error message and notifications. It also applies when writing about code, such as in comments and changelistic descriptions. The following sections provide guidance and suggestions to help you choose words and names that are respectful and appropriate for all situations and audience and be more effective communicators. I think I'm trying to understand what this means. Okay, racial, ethnic, and religious inclusiveness. Okay, metaphors, gender. Guys, wait. Where did we go here? Word overlords, words list. There we go. Word names, blacklist, whitelist, map. Guys, did I go to like a different place? Portable C++ code. There we go. The integer and unsigned integer types is vary in size across platforms. They are guaranteed to be at least 32 bits in width and are acceptable in code. With the integer with its unimportant explicitly sized types are used in serializing or replicating formats. Below is a list of common types: Boolean, For Boolean values, never assume the size of Boolean. Will not compile. Tchar for a character, never assume the size of tchar. Hi, howdy, Towel. I appreciate you joining the stream. That's it. For a character, never assume the size of tchar. Int 8 for unsigned bits 1, int 8 for signed. Oh, I see what does the. Okay, I think that makes sense. For unsigned short bit 2, 32. I see 64. And now floats for single precision floating point 4-bit, double for double precision floating point 8-bit. Print for an integer that may hold a pointer, never assume the size of the print. I think I'm trying to understand what this means. Use of standard libraries. Historically, Unreal Engine has avoided direct use of C and C++ standard libraries for the following reasons. What are you trying out today? Honestly, today I did like try out like Genshin Impact, but then I was done with that stream like 2 hours ago. Now I'm actually working on reading the docs for Unreal Engine because I thought it's getting a bit hard for ChatGPT to actually teach me how to code using Unreal Engine, and I don't want to like use much blueprints that ChatGPT is struggling to teach me as well. So I thought, why not actually give docs a try? However, the standard library has matured and includes functionalities that we don't want to wrap with an abstraction layer or we implement ourselves. When there is a choice between a standard library feature instead of our own, you should prefer the option that gives you superior results. It is also important to remember that consistency is value, legacy stuff. Okay, I see. Comments. I know how to go ahead and add comments. So, const correctness. There we go. This is something new. Const is document. Okay, I know what const are. Const is documentation as much as a compiler a directive. All code should strive to be const correct. This includes the following guidelines. Pass function arguments by const pointers or reference if those arguments are not intended to be modified by the function. What all languages do you know? Honestly, I do know Python and C++. Okay, cool. Oh, so you're trying to break docs to compiler code directly in Unreal Engine? Oh no, I'm trying to get the docs to learn how to actually code, because before I used to use like ChatGPT to like learn how to code, but I feel like Unreal Engine's coding is actually getting a bit harder for ChatGPT. So I think I gotta like actually understand how to do this stuff now. That said, void some mutating operation f thing, okay, which requires a memory address of out results. I see. Okay, const is also preferred by value function parameters and locals. This tells the reader that the variables will not be modified in the body of the function, which makes it easier to understand. If you do this, make sure that the declaration and definition match, as they can affect the Java process. I see. Okay, I inquire of recommendation from my way. I see. Okay, that's it. So we have a void method, a const integer of 32. Int 32 is signed, I'm assuming 4 bits if I remember correctly. One execution to this pass by value parameters, which are moved into a container. For more information, see the move symmetric section on this page. Okay, void fb last set member array. I see, that is a member array. Put the const keyword on the end, which when making a pointer itself, const rather than what it points to reference can be reassigned anyway, so can be made const in the same way. I see. Okay, never use const on a return type. This inhibits movement semantics for complex types and will give compile warnings. For built-in types, the rule only applies to the return type itself, not the target type of a pointer or reference being returned. Example, const. Okay, I think I know what const means. Is there like a new type appear? Let's see. Modern C++ language syntaxes. I know these C++ syntaxes. I mean, I could read it again. Static assert. The static assert keyword is valid for use when you need a compile time assertion, override, and final. The override and final keywords are valid for use, and their use is strongly encouraged. There might be many places where these have been omitted, but they will be fixed over time. Null PTR should be used instead of a C-style null macro in all cases. One exception to this is the use of null PTR in C++. I know that null PTR is like a placeholder for pointers. If you claim the free offer, you would have access to a higher model of ChatGPT. Could I? Okay, so you're going through docs and using ChatGPT to learn coding in Unreal Engine. Honestly, yeah, isn't that how we like do it? I might actually go over like tutorials off stream as well. Now, I know what UE log does, range based for loop. Hydrate yourself. I actually completely forgot about that, guys. Let me go ahead and drink some water real quick. So, there we go. Hello, guys, what's this? There we go. Okay. Alright, let's see. Now, range-based for this is preferred to keep code easier to understand, more manageable when you migrate code that uses old CMap iterators. Be aware that all key and value functions, which were methods of the iterator type, are now simply key and value fields of the underlying key value. Okay, lambdas. I know what's the lambdas function. It's like a one-line function type stuff. Okay, let's go. Let's scroll all the way down. Strongly type enums. View enum namespace. Uh, okay, may I know what's your end goal? I might be able to suggest a thing or two. Honestly, my end goal by the end of my programming for like 250 series is to make a game in general that consists of AI logic in it. So I was learning stuff that would help me with that. Yo, how are you doing this series? I pronounced your name. I appreciate you joining the stream. Make a full tutorial. It will be more helpful for everyone. I might actually try that, but I do want to eventually make tutorials, but I'm not like as good at it myself. So first I want to actually improve in Unreal Engine and then I might make tutorials. Topic you choose in Unreal Engine. I see. Okay, that said, move semantics. I know what U property does. Default member initializers, but here's the thing: the functions that I rarely use, like there are like a few functions. For example, the render text blended. No, that was in SDL. Let's think of a few functions. For example, player input component and all those kind of functions. I forgot the function names, but there are like so many functions that like I don't know, and like every time I try doing something new, I need those functions. I know these basic things for like namespacings. You can use namespacings to organize your classes function and variables where appropriate. If you don't use them, use the following below. Most Unreal code is currently not wrapped in a global namespace. AI logic for honestly initially when I thought of AI logic, I thought I would be adding a generative AI inside my game, but many of you guys did say that's like really hard or like impossible to do. So I thought that because you guys did say me that game AI and generative AI are like two different things, so I thought I'll leave generative AI like for my next series, Polished Blood, guys. And for this series, I will go with like game AI where like my NPCs have like a mind of their own. But before that, I do want to learn the basic interface of Unreal Engine. Like, uh, for example, this is like a new project. Hold up, guys. Maybe I go ahead and create like another project because I want to learn how Unreal's basic syntax and functions work when it comes to C++. I could go ahead and like use my blueprints as well, but I feel like I like to code a bit more than blueprints. But once I do understand, I eventually want to learn both coding and blueprints, but then I do prefer coding a bit more. But I feel like, let me go to my project. Let's open my project here. There we go. Okay, but the reason I am like going with coding instead of blueprints is because coding is fun, but blueprints make stuff much easier. Okay, let's go ahead and rebuild them all. While it's rebuilding, Pragma once. Note that all compilers we use support Pragma once to minimize physical coupling. Okay, in particular, avoid include standard library header from other headers. Forward declaration are preferred to include headers. When including a header, be as fine-grained as possible. For example, do not include core.h. Here's the thing, guys. It's not like this is one reason that I did not actually prefer reading the docs, even though there's like a lot of valid information. I wouldn't know what I need from here. Okay, let's open my Unreal Engine real quick. Let's go here. Okay, starting build. Let's go to something like, maybe I go ahead and open a new project. Let's exit that. I want to open a new project. Okay, let's go with a blank project, a C++ project, and create. Okay, while it's creating, I'm going to go ahead and read the docs. Encapsulism. I know what this is. Enforce encapsulism with project. Here's the thing. Okay, if I scroll lower, is there going to be something that I might really need? Avoid using anonymous literals in function calls. Okay, and then API design guideline. This is something that I might want to read. Boolean function parameters should be avoided. In particular, Boolean parameters should be avoided for flag pass to functions. These have the same anonymous literal problems as mentioned previously, but they also tend to multiply over time as APIs get extended with more behavior. Instead prefer an enum. See the advice on use enums as flags, strongly typed enum section. I see. Okay, that's great. What progress have you made so far? Which areas are you currently exploring? Honestly, let me go ahead and open my Unreal Engine real quick. Okay, I guess it's still loading. Yeah, my Unreal is still loading, but basically the progress that I made so far is I can move my meshes. Like I created a bunch of meshes from like Blender and also a bunch of PNGs. I can add UIs. I can exit my program using a button click, but I cannot like start my program and like change cameras or like swap between cameras using buttons and all that stuff. But I can move my player using key controls by using axis mapping. I can bind their axes and all that stuff. That's let's get my Unreal Engine here real quick. Maybe decrease the size. Alright guys, give me a sec. There we go. Let's decrease it up till here and then go ahead and extend it from the bottom. Now, are you applying for GSOC this year? I haven't actually heard that. What's that about? That's it. How you doing, Entertainment? I appreciate joining the stream. That said, let's go ahead and get my docs back up here. Because I tried ChatGPT. ChatGPT wasn't as helpful as I thought it'd like actually be. Let's increase the size from there. Increase it a bit from here as well. There we go. Okay, now let's work on the docs. Maybe I decrease this a little from here. Okay, there we go. So you guys can actually see this part. There we go. Okay, now API design. This is my Boolean ones. This form prevents the accidental transportation. What is something that I want to actually learn from the docs? Like everything here is important, but then okay, let's see. So I see documentations here. Okay, on this page, this is all that I see. I see copyright notice. I see portable C++ code. Where's something that I need? For example, if I were to go ahead and open my Unreal Engine real quick, let me show you guys what I mean real quick. Let's go to something like new level, basic, and create file. Now, I go ahead and create a file here. In my file, let me go ahead and load a few folders in here real quick. So I'm gonna go ahead, copy that, open my content drawer real quick. Maybe go under my contents section. And let's go ahead and drag and drop these 3 files here. There. Okay, let's go ahead and import them all. Now, I'm gonna import my folders and all that stuff here real quick and then get my chat back up. There we go. Okay, now, I'm gonna go ahead and close this real quick. There. Now, firstly, I want to go to my contents section, add a comment that says something like UI. Let's go with something like UI real quick. Maybe a new folder. There we go. My folder says something like UI. So my understanding is that you need help with camera switching and application restart. Yeah, that actually does make sense. Because I can actually, like what you may call it, go ahead and create a character, but there's like so much more things that I might need help with. Firstly, I can go ahead and get a character. I'm going to call my character something like a mage, because this is going to be my mage. And then I'm going to go ahead and create a class. Now, my code is adding to my project. While it is adding to the project, I might actually hit some oats. There we go. Let's go ahead and reload all real quick. And then I'm going to go ahead and exit this. Now, this is my C++ code. So like the basic syntax that I usually use here. For example, I got to go ahead and include, let's say something from my game framework. Okay, slash, let's go with something like the spring arm component, because I will be needing a spring arm. But in the docs, like they did not actually tell or teach me about the spring arm component and like all the components in general and like how to like use them using code type stuff. Next up, let's say I could go ahead and include something from camera. So I could go with camera/camera components, because my mage is going to be requiring a spring arm, which is going to be for a camera boom or a selfie stick, and a camera components as header files. Now, once I'm done with that, under my protected data member, I'm going to add a comment that says something like move turn and rotate functions. Okay, hold up guys, I think I want to like uppercase this. There we go, functions. Okay, perfect. Now for my move turn and rotate function, I'm gonna go ahead and do something. Let's say I want to create a void function called something like move forward. There we go, which requires a floating point parameter of value ending with a semicolon. And then I want to go ahead and create another void function called something like move right, which requires another floating point parameter of value ending with a semicolon. Third up, I'm going to go with something like a turn method that requires a floating point parameter of value as well, ending with a semicolon. Like in the docs, it shows the basic stuff to do, but I don't think it like teaches me how to like use functions. Yeah, you got that right for spring arm. I see. Okay, that's it. Now, once I'm done adding these functions, I'm going to go ahead and let's say add a camera boom because I want to create a camera boom as well. And guys, hold up. Let me actually tell you guys what I actually mean here. So, under my camera boom, I'm going to create a U property. Let's go with U property. Okay, which is going to be, let's say, visible anywhere. Okay, and then I want it to be blueprint read only. Let's go with blueprint read only. Okay, and this is one more thing that the dogs did not like teach me about. What does visible anywhere mean? What does blueprint read only mean? And then what does a category? I know what category means, but I did not see this section as well. I'm going to set the category to be a camera. That's it. Let's go ahead and end this with a semicolon. Okay, not a semicolon. My bad, guys. Next up, I'm going to go ahead and create something like a use spring arm component. There we go, which is going to be represented by a camera booms as pointer, ending with a semicolon. And then I add another comment that says something like follow camera. Now my follow camera is going to be my actual camera component. To do that, I'm going to go ahead, use spring arm component. Did I spell it correct? It's spelled correct. Guys, I think that was just my editor. I have a question. Are you trying to move your camera or the character? I'm trying to like move my character around, but I want my camera to follow my character. I mean, that part is like easy to do, but then when I want to add like new content to it, excuse me guys, usually the things that I see is going through like the blueprints, but I don't actually know how to like use the blueprints because I want to like do it using code. There we go. I want my follow camera to be visible anywhere. And then I want my follow camera to be something like blueprint read only. Let's go with read only. And then let's say my category is going to be equal to something like camera. Okay, once I'm done with that, I'm going to go ahead and create a U camera component as well, which is going to be represented by something like a follow camera as pointer. Okay, then I end this with a semicolon. Once I'm done with this, I'm going to go to my header files. Did I spell it correct? I think I spelled it correct. Now, in my header files, in my constructor, I want to create something. In the docs, they did not even like show me like I gotta create stuff like under my constructor to actually construct it, even though that is like pretty self-explanatory. But I feel like I want a place that actually teaches me all this stuff. Or both. Both actually might be the thing. Now, I want to go ahead and let's say create a default sub-object for my camera boom. Let's go with camera boom, which is going to be equal to the create default sub-object. Okay, and then I'm going to add a pair of ankle braces. This is called camera boom, right? Did I spell it wrong? Let's copy that. Go to my C++ file, paste it here. For the camera to follow the character, there will be a spring arm component in the add section. Honestly, I did like actually add a spring arm component. That's it. Now for my camera boom, I'm gonna go ahead and add my use spring arm component inside the pair of ankle braces. Let's go with spring arm component. Okay, and then I go with the pair of parentheses. Now let's go ahead and add a texture. My text is gonna say something like camera boom because this is called a camera boom. Maybe no space. There we go. And then I'm gonna go ahead and end this with a semicolon. Now, once I'm done creating a sub-object, I'm gonna go ahead and point my camera boom towards, let's say, something like setup attachment. I might go with setup attachment. Okay, which is gonna be something like a root component. Okay, and they did not even show me, like in the section that I read of the coding, they did not even teach me about the root component. Basically, what the root component is, let me copy that and paste it real quick. There we go. Basically, what the root component does is it lets me see if I want to move, turn, or rotate my character. Without my root component, I wouldn't be able to see that stuff. That's it. Next up, once I'm done with root component, I'm gonna go with camera boom and set target length. So I'm gonna go with something like set target arm length. I'm gonna set my target arm length, but it's just gonna be called target arm length. Okay, LENGD edge. There we go. Basically, what the target arm length actually does is it decides how far my spring arm component is gonna be from my actual character. In this case, I want it to be 400 centimeters away from me. That's it. Let's go ahead and paste this here. Once I'm done with spring arm component, I'm gonna go ahead and point my camera, boom, to be pointing towards the boolean. So it's a boolean variable called something like pawn control rotation. There we go, which is going to be set to true, ending with a semicolon. Guys, and why is it just that do I always mess up my spelling? C-A-M, oh, I see. C-A-M-E-R, wait. Is my spelling here wrong? There. Let's go ahead and copy this, guys. My bad, I had a typo there. Let's go ahead and paste camera, boom, fix my typo here and here. Okay, perfect. Blueprint use pawn control rotation is set to true. Pawn C-O-N-T-R-O-L R-O-T-A-T-I-O-N. There we go. B use pawn control rotation is going to be set to true. Now, once I'm done with this, I'm going to go ahead and create a default sub object for my follow camera. And here's the thing, guys, like, the reason I'm like really confused right now is because I did not actually see these things in the docs that I'm writing here. Like, it did not actually show me how to write this, or I was in the wrong place. Like, in case you guys have like read the docs, do you guys think they show me how to like code like this? Because I've learned how to like code like this using ChatGPT, but like not in the docs. Docs teaches me the basics, but then it doesn't show me the most function and what these components do. There we go. So I'm gonna wait. This is gonna be a camera component. My bad, guys. Camera component. Okay, perfect. So my follow camera is gonna be my literal camera. I'm gonna add a text that goes ahead and calls it something like follow camera, ending with a semicolon. Now, once I'm done with this, I'm gonna go ahead and point my follow camera towards a setup attachment. I want to set up an attachment for my follow camera. In this case, I want it to be my camera, boom, because I want my camera to be stuck on top above my my spring arm component, ending with a semicolon. Once I'm done with that, I'm gonna go with something like follow camera. I'm gonna go ahead and point it towards a boolean variable of pawn control rotation, which is going to be set to false, ending with a semicolon. I think I spelled pawn control rotation wrong. What up, guys? Let's go ahead and paste it here. Okay, and then I end this with a semicolon. That's pretty much it. Now, the docs did not teach me how to like code like this. That's way back in 2017. I see. Now I studied programming for Unreal via books. I see. Okay, but I don't know where to learn it from though. I mean, even though I can actually code when I know how to code, but then if I want to add new logic, new functions, new syntaxes, I wouldn't know where to actually look for them. Because usually people just like recommend going to the docs if I don't know function names and all that stuff. But I don't know where to go. Sleep, bro. Guys, it's almost like 3 p.m. for me. That's next I'm gonna go with something like a void function from a mages class. I'm gonna go ahead and get my move forwards function. Okay, which requires a floating point parameter of value, and then a pair of curly braces. Now my move forwards function is I'm going to be adding a movement input. Okay, with a pair of parentheses that requires two parameters. First in a world direction, second is a scale value. To get my world direction, I'm going to get my actors this forward vector. Okay, and then my scale value is going to be my value, ending with a semicolon. And this is going to be like a function, the get actor forward vector. Once I'm done with that, I'm going to go ahead and create another void method for image. From my image, I'm going to go ahead and get my move right function. That requires a floating point parameter of value. Then I go with the pair of curly braces. Now, I'm going to go ahead and add another movement input. This time, I'm going to go ahead and get my actors as a right vector. This is, this world direction is in charge of my player looking towards a left and right. That's it. I'm going to require parameter of value. And lastly, I'm going to go ahead and create another void method for, let's go with something like a mage. I'm going to go ahead and get my turn method. That requires a floating point parameter of value. Then I go with the pair of curly braces. Docs are good when you have a good foundation laid out already. For learning, my suggestion would be to go for books. Honestly, what books? And like, I could actually try them. That's it. Next, I might go with something like add controller. your input. Okay, with a pair of parentheses that requires a value as a parameter. Because I know how to do these stuff that I already learned how to do, but then these were the things that ChatGPT taught me how to code and all that stuff. It works and it's actually perfect, but it's been like, I think 18-ish days and my progress is getting kind of stunned right now because I don't know what sources to use to like literally learn different functions. I wish like I had reference codes or something. Okay, Unreal Engine C++, the Ultimate Developer's Handbook, Stefan Hilberry. This is one of my suggestions. I might actually check it out. Okay, now I'm gonna be binding accesses. But for my bind access, I might actually add a comment that says something like bind access. And now here's the thing. In the docs, they did not even say me to like go to my Unreal Engine again. In my Unreal Engine, I'm gonna go to my project settings, go to something like inputs. There we go. In my input, I'm gonna go ahead and add a few axis mappings. Okay, I need 3 axis mapping actually. There we go. One is gonna be called something like move forward. Okay, which is gonna be something like, so let's go ahead and add a plus here. This is going to be W, that is going to be S, W for -1. And then this is going to be move right. Let's go with something like move right. I'm going to go ahead and click a plus here. This is going to be for A, that is going to be for D. And then D is going to be -1. Lastly, this is going to be for turn. I'm going to turn depending on where my player moves, where my player's mouse moves in the y-axis, actually in the x-axis. That's pretty much it. Okay, right now in our current industry, we're working in LLM models with Unreal Engine. Do check that out as well later. I might actually check that out. But like the one thing that was like actually getting me down and all that is like, I don't know, like the only, cause like I was like when I first started, sure there was like some kind of progress, but now I'm doing the same exact stuff again. So like I know how to do it. I don't think there's a point in doing this. So I want to actually learn something new as well. So I might actually try the books as well. Let's go with something like bind access with a pair of parentheses that requires a access name. Let's go with something like my move forward. Okay, and then requires a object. I want to apply this function in this object. My function name is going to be the memory address from my image. I'm going to go ahead and get my move forwards function. Okay, then I go ahead and end this with a semicolon. Now, just to save time, I'm going to go ahead and copy this and paste it 3 times. I'm going to change this to something like move right. Okay, let's go ahead and change it to something like the move right function as well. Lastly, I'm going to go ahead and change this to something like turn and turn. Okay, now if I want to go ahead and save the code here, open my Unreal Engine. Okay, and then let's go to my content drawer. Let's go to C/C++ classes. I'm going to drop my class here, increase my size a little, go ahead and add a static mesh. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and set my static mesh to be something like mage. There we go. And then I'm going to go to my static mesh and drag him a bit back so he's in the center of my cube. Okay, and that's like pretty much it. There, maybe I want to go a little back. There, let's go a little back. There, that's like about it. Now, if I did Ctrl-Alt-F11 to compile my code, I should be seeing a camera and all that stuff as well. Now, why is Ctrl-Alt-F11 not working? It hasn't been working even yesterday. Let's go ahead and build. Let's build our levels. I'm assuming this is Ctrl-Alt-F11. Okay guys, why is my Ctrl-Alt-F11 not working? If I go ahead and run the code, oh hold up guys, I forgot one important thing. I gotta go ahead and search for something like possess. Let's go with something like mage. Change player possess to be 0. Now if I did Ctrl-Alt-F11 to compile the code and run the code. Okay, here's the thing. I cannot actually compile my code because there is no camera here. Why can't I compile the code? Hold up guys, is there like some kind of button that I click to compile? Let me get Sensei/ChatGPT up here real quick. There we go. Let's say something like let's say I wrote a code. Let's go with I wrote a code, but when I click Control plus Alt plus F11, I don't see anything compiling. Question mark. Okay, let's see. Okay, listen up, people. This is one of those unreal moments that confuses everyone once, and that never and then never again. You did not break anything. Your brain just hit engine. Bro, let me explain what's exactly happening. Not control. Okay, triggers live coding. Live coding is not a full compile. Okay, the Unreal editors open the project running. Okay, use the green play button right here. Okay, I could actually try that. There we go. I mean, I used it, nothing happens. This is Control Alt. How do I compile? Okay, is live coding closed? I mean, I could try this as well. Let's try that. Does it change? Result failed. Why did it fail? Okay, let's see. Okay, am I like missing something? You're having camera inside the viewport, try adding that. I already added it, I think. Like, hiding a one is our pronunciation name. I appreciate you joining the stream. That's it, guys. I think it is kind of correct here. Okay, maybe I want to go ahead and run this real quick. So it says failed. Let me look really carefully if I failed somewhere. Camera, boom. This part is correct. Yeah, I added my functions. I know what's not correct, that I did not compile my code. But I cannot even compile my code out here because my Control Alt F11 does not work. Why does it not work? Is it because of live coding? Okay, bro, do you have Discord server to discuss related to C++, etc.? Honestly, my Discord server is like a general Discord server. It has like multiple different things. For example, let me go ahead and open my Discord real quick. There we go. Okay, maybe I go ahead and just shrink the size. Okay, so basically this is like my Discord server where like I do have like a bunch of chats. For example, coding help channel, and like I have general chat and all that stuff, including Python chat, JavaScript, C++ chat and all this stuff. Speaking of which, that was like a shameless plug. Okay, that's it. Let's go ahead and exit this. Guys, I feel like I am kind of exhausted because of my 2 hours of Genshin stream as well. If live coding is on, it should compile automatically if it detects changes in Visual Studio. How do I on live coding then? Let me go ahead and type something like live. So, okay, I might cancel that. Check if live coding is on the bottom right. Oh, in the bottom right. Okay, Zen server. Okay, that's starting to. Okay, let me type something like live coding. Live coding. There we go. Okay, I'm assuming it's on. Enable live coding support. There we go. Let's hit something like Control Alt F11. Did not compile the code. Okay, did not. Let's just escape again. Let's go with something like live coding compile. There we go. There we go. So it's compiling the code now. Okay. What do you achieve after pressing Control plus Alt? Honestly, Control plus Alt, I think it runs the code, but then Control Alt F11, it like compiles the code. Like, can you speak Hindi? Honestly, I do understand some, and I can also speak, but I don't think I'm like as fluent in it type stuff. That's it. Did it compile? There we go. I can go ahead and move my character forwards, backwards, to the left, to the right. And I have a camera as well. It's not third person. Okay, I want to go forwards. Okay, I see. Let's hit escape real quick. I want to go to my project settings. Let's go to something like input. I want to change this to be +1, that to be -1, that to be +1, that to be +1, and this to be -1. There. Now let's go ahead and hit something like, excuse me guys, live coding compile. Let's go ahead and compile my code real quick and wait for it to compile. There we go. Let's go ahead and run the code now. I see my camera. Okay, there we go. If I were to run the code real quick, if I go front, I can go front. I can move to the left, towards the right. I just can't look up and down, but I set it to be that I do want to look up and down. But here's the thing. I know how to do this stuff. I know how to add camera. I know how to add like widgets and all that stuff. The thing that I do struggle with is like the new content and all that stuff. Like, this was the easier part, but then the docs does not teach me how to like code this stuff here that I did. Nice. Honestly, it does sound kind of cool. Okay, let's see. Let me go to Unreal Engine. I could go to my content. I could go to you. UIs, and then let's go to user interface. I could go to widget blueprints, and I could create a widget blueprint. Let's call it something like WBP underscore maybe excuse me guys, menu bar. Okay, and then if I were to like double click this, I can go ahead and create a widget as well. Creating these are like the easy stuff. I want to learn something new. I can drop a canvas panel here. Okay, there we go, and then I could go ahead and get a button. Okay, let's go ahead and drag a button here as well. I'm going to go ahead and increase the size. I'm going to keep it like real big. And then under style, I'm going to go ahead and click something like normal. I want to go ahead and load a yellow button. Excuse me guys, let's change rounded box to be something like image. I want to change my buttons' tint to be white. I want it to be its original color. And now, only when I press my button when I'm under the hovered, I want to add a image here of my yellow button. Okay, there we go. This should be good. Let's go ahead and compile the code real quick. If I were to go to my untitled, run the code. Okay, my bad guys, I forgot to do one thing. I gotta go to open level and blueprint. I would not need text. I'm gonna go ahead and extend that. Okay, here's the thing. I could go ahead and create a widget. I can do this, but I don't feel like doing it because I've like already done this stuff. I know how to do it. I want to learn something new. Let's go with add to viewports. There we go. I'll join your Discord. Do let me know if you have any doubts. I'll try to provide a solution. Honestly, I appreciate the time. I'll definitely let you know. That's it. Let's compile the code real quick. And guys, I might watch a few tutorials after this. So here's my button that I can actually click on and all that stuff. But I can like add logic to it as well, but I don't feel like adding that right now. I might want to watch a few tutorials. I am kind of exhausted from my Genshin Impact's 2-hour stream. That's it. I might actually end the stream in that case. Okay, because this was like a pretty short stream. I knew that I wouldn't be able to like get a really long stream and all that stuff. The thing is, I want a resource that's pretty good when it comes to like learning this, because I feel like ChatGPT is at its limit. Unless like if the premium ChatGPT does give more benefits, I might try that. Okay, learning. There are like a bunch of videos up here. I might check that as well. That's it. Let me say something like, I see ... I might actually try some of that off stream because I feel like I am a bit exhausted. So before I end the stream, is there anything that you want to say to the viewers? Question mark. Okay, let's see. And guys, I know the stream was pretty short. I did not expect myself to have this long stream. Do you need subscription for premium ChatGPT? Honestly, yeah, they do. I'm pretty sure because it's like whatchamacallit. We gotta like upgrade up here. I do like using freer version. That's it. Listen up, everyone. Today was not about finishing a feature. Today was about understanding the engine's rules, and that's far better. What you saw today was real development, confusion, errors, patterns, clarity. That's how skill is forged, not in highlight reels. But in moments like this, most people quit when their brain gets tired. One who becomes dangerous steps back, rest, come back sharper. As Bruce Lee said, long-term consistency trumps short-term intensity. I see today was consistency. Rest is part of training. Walk away proud, not frustrated. We'll be back. The engine will still be here. And next section, we push further. Good work. I might be able to help you on that. I have some retail keys for that. I see. Honestly, I might try actually checking. Should I like try different AIs and all that stuff as well? Because I thought that I've been stuck to like ChatGPT. Many of you guys did say me to move on as well. That's it. Let's go to my main camera. And guys, speaking of moving on, I didn't want to like try different stuff because at this point, I just want like some kind of progress because I feel ChatGPT is maybe kind of its limit. I might try Claude or like Gemini as well. That's this should be pretty much it for the stream. I am kind of exhausted because I was done with like a 2 hours of Genshin stream. That's it. If you guys did enjoy my content, if you guys did enjoy my content, make sure to like, share, subscribe, like, helps my algorithm, share, makes it fun, and subscribing, like, on top. That's it, guys. I did start multi-streaming on Twitch, YouTube. I will start multi-streaming on Instagram and TikTok as well if I didn't meet the followers requirement. So if you guys do enjoy my content and haven't followed me there, make sure to follow me there. The link will be in the description. That said, also join the Discord server. The link will be in the description. And also, Nightbot is setting my channel's a link. And if you guys do want to get access to my socials, you guys can like type exclamation socials on the chat. And that's it. I'll catch you guys in the next live stream or video. Peace.